Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Landon King. It is my honor to be your MC for the Lubbock Regional Public Safety Memorial. Today we'll be unveiling 3 new plaques. And I would like to ask you to please rise for the multi-agency honor guard, parade procession, and singing of the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
And now with our invocation, I would like to introduce LCU Chief Mike Smith.
Gentlemen, if you will remove your hats, please bow with me. Heavenly Father, we come before you as a community unified by a common bond. We come before you to honor our brothers and sisters who have sacrificed their lives to serve and protect our families, our homes, and our community. We're mindful that these tragedies have become an everlasting memory of this community. And Lord, let these memories honor these sacrifices of these great heroes. Lord, let these memories strengthen the fabric of our community. And Lord, let these memories continue to give strength, courage, and perseverance to our heroes that serve us every day. Finally, Lord, let these memories continue to honor the service and sacrifice of Eric Hill, Nicholas Reyna, Joshua Bartlett, and those who have come before them and those who will follow, each who should forever be ingrained in our hearts and our mind. Father, help us to forever embrace, support, and pray for their families, co-workers, and friends who will forever be touched by their presence and by their absence. And Father, help us forever remember why they served and never let that be in vain. Lord, thank you for the ways that you love us. Thank you for the ways you support us. And thank you for never leaving us. In your name we pray. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, you may be seated. Now we would like to welcome the Honorable Judge Curtis Parrish.
On behalf of Lubbock County, we want to welcome everyone here today to this, what has become an all too often occurrence for us. We met here, now it'll be 2 years this January, to collectively, as a community, to grieve. We met here back in July to collectively, as a community, to grieve. This hallowed ground that we stand in today is a place for us as a community to come, to remember and to grieve. I'm reminded of the Apostle Paul in 1 Thessalonians, who says, "We grieve, but not like those without hope." For today, we grieve as we remember, but we remember with hope, because surrounded by us are the men and women who every day wear the badge, and they go out every day to protect and to serve our community. We honor the three who are not here today, but in doing so, we honor all of you who are here today as well. Thank you for your service. To the families, thank you for your sacrifice. For it's not just the brothers in blood, it's the brothers in blue as well, who are here to stand with you and beside you. You've heard the term, "we will never forget." Today helps us to never forget. So thank you for what you have done and the sacrifice that you have made on behalf of this community. We honor them today, but in doing so, we honor you. Thank you. On behalf of a very grateful Lubbock County, you have paid the last full measure of devotion, and today we grieve with you.
And now with the Department of Public Safety, Joe Longway.
Good afternoon, and thank you for having me here today. It is my honor and privilege to represent the Texas Department of Public Safety as we recognize our first responders on this fall day. In 2017, the United States Congress designated October 28th as National First Responders Day, recognizing the heroic men and women who make it their responsibility to run toward danger when disaster strikes. The resolution honors firefighters, police officers, paramedics, and emergency medical technicians. First responders are called to their profession because of a desire to make their community a better place to live and raise a family. Whether it's serving as a firefighter, a paramedic, or a law enforcement officer, they answer the call to serve their neighbors before themselves. I consider myself blessed to have been able to work with heroes most of my adult life. First as a law enforcement specialist in the United States Air Force, and then as a Texas State Trooper for the Texas Department of Public Safety for the last 33 years. Whether you've been a first responder, whether you've needed a first responder's assistance in the past or not, it's not hard to understand and appreciate the dangerous and challenging task they have elected as a career. They are always there when the community needs them the most. Their service is critical to the safety and well-being of the citizens of the South Plains of Texas. I commend the work of our first responders. Our world and our community is a much better place because of them. As I began preparing for this event, I had just returned from a funeral in Amarillo. You see, they lost a police sergeant to COVID-19. And this very same department today, while we're here, is having a celebration of life for their second sergeant, who also died from COVID-19. The National Law Enforcement Memorial reported 295 law enforcement officers killed in 2020 alone. Tomorrow will be the 6th anniversary of the end of watch for Texas Department of Public Safety Sergeant Carl Cassie. It'll be 4 years ago this month that the Lubbock area lost Texas Tech police officer Floyd East. 22 months ago, this community, devastated by the loss of Lubbock police officer Nicholas Reyna and Lubbock Fire and Rescue Lieutenant Eric Hill. And just 105 days ago, the tragic death of Lubbock County Sheriff's Department Sergeant Josh Bartlett. These heroes gave their lives while working to keep the South Plains safe. These first responders showed our community and Texas the ultimate service and sacrifice, not just in their deaths, but in their lives and the work they did every day. As Matthew 25:21 in the New Living Translation states, the Master was full of praise. Well done, my good and faithful servant. I would be remiss, and following what the judge said, if we did not recognize the extreme sacrifice of the spouses, children, parents, and siblings of our fallen. This community can never repay the debt we owe these heroes and their families. What the people of the South Plains can do is be living examples for what each of these outstanding first responders stood for daily. Become involved. Volunteer your talents to help others in your local community. Thank you, all you first responders. You are the true heroes. May God bless each of you, and may God bless the great state of Texas. Thank you.
And now we welcome from the Lubbock County Sheriff's Office, Sheriff Kelly Rowe.
Good afternoon. You know, it always strikes me with each and every one of these events that I have come to the clear conclusion that there is no place, either in this great state or this nation, that I'd rather be than Lubbock, Texas. Love the support this community provides in times like this, in moments when we're remembering some of the hardest things that could possibly happen. It's just great to know we're in a spot where, like I said, we know our first responders, our firemen, our EMS, our police and sheriff's deputies, DPS troopers are all as loved as they are right here in Lubbock. I find it somewhat strangely ironic, if not just a little bit bitterly ironic, that the memorial that's standing behind me represents police, fire, and sheriff's deputies. And that today we're going to be memorializing one individual from each of those agencies. And I think it's going to make this memorial plaza even that much more special. Each of the families, the Hill family, the Reyna family, and of course the Bartlett family, please know that, as everyone has said and will continue to say, this community is behind you all and is here to support you all moving forward. I said it during Josh's service, and I'll repeat it again. Although he and the others may be gone, they certainly will never be forgotten. And what we're doing today helps once again ensure that we don't let slip into memory or fade from memory these individuals that have given the ultimate sacrifice. And I wholeheartedly agree with Director Longway that this community owes a debt that it will never be able to repay. The sacrifice that each of your loved ones made can never be repaid, but just please know you have a community that supports you and will always support you from here on out. So likewise, I say God bless each and every one of the family members. God bless all the first responders here and the missions and jobs they do. Stay safe, and God bless Texas.
And now we welcome Chief Floyd Mitchell with the Lubbock Police Department.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us today as we honor and remember all first responders who have paid the ultimate sacrifice in service to our local and regional communities. Today we remember 3 of our fallen first responders whose names will be forever included in this memorial. Lubbock County Sheriff's Office Sergeant Joshua Bartlett, Lubbock Fire and Rescue Lieutenant Eric Hill, and our very own Lubbock Police Officer Nicholas Reyna. Just this month, I and members of our Honor Guard traveled to Washington, D.C. with Nick's wife Christina and baby girl Catalina for the National Law Enforcement Memorial Ceremony, where Nick's name was permanently etched into stone for all to honor and bear witness to in our nation's capital. However, today's memorial on these sacred grounds hold a special place for so many in this region. For these grounds are where the friends and families of our fallen can come and see that their community remembers the sacrifice that their loved ones made. West Texas is their home, and this place is where those who knew these brave men the best can come and honor their memories. My heart, hopes, and prayers continue to go out to all of the families of these men that we honor here today. May God forever be by your side. God bless you, and thank you.
And now Chief Kyle Bonath with the Texas Tech Police Department.
Good afternoon. It's a pleasure to be here representing Texas Tech Police Department. We, as first responders, have chosen a profession that gives us the extreme highs and the extreme lows, the peaks and the valleys, the saving of life and the loss of life. This is a day to remember both the highs and the lows. The lows of the brothers and sisters we have lost, the highs of remembering the family members we have adopted into our family. I know we may be a poor substitute, but we are here for you. In remembrance of the heroes that we have lost, it is our duty to rededicate ourselves to make the ones we have lost proud. Thank you.
And now Lubbock Fire Rescue Chief Sean Fogerson with the Lubbock Fire Department.
Good afternoon. First, I want to thank everyone for being here today. To see the support from the first responder family and the citizens of West Texas is breathtaking. And like today, when our 2 heroes came home, people from across the state and here in Lubbock lined the route. They waved flags, saluted, and they prayed. The big thing, and the really big thing, is that you are here and you are there for all of them and for us. It is impossible to perfectly memorialize Lieutenant Eric Hill and the honor, servitude, and selflessness he carried in his heart. And we will never be able to repay the sacrifice that Eric and the men and women on this wall behind me have made. But I can tell you that Eric Hill was a fireman's fireman. Due to his exceptional paramedic skills, there are people walking among us that may not be here had he not dedicated his life to helping others. Eric was a true public servant. While on the job, he only thought of the personnel he was charged with protecting and the people that he was sworn to help. He was proud of the work he was born to do and always deflecting to praise. To Eric, his best, every time, was his personal standard, and as a leader, the best efforts from those around him was his expectation. There will never be another Eric Hill. We will miss him. We will constantly honor him by holding to the high principles that he dedicated and ultimately gave his life to. I would be remiss if I did not mention that he was a mighty fine cowboy too. That was such a huge part of his life. Those values and principles he brought to this job, and we all benefited from that. Please continue to pray for peace and comfort for both the Hill and Reyna families and Bartlett family, and for their first responder families. And please remember the incredible sacrifice of these true American heroes. Eric, we love you, we miss you, we thank you and honor you for who you were and what you did for us in the service to others.
And now EMS Director Thomas Moore.
Good afternoon. Representative Burroughs, Judge Parrish, Sheriff Rowe, Chief Bonath, Fulkerson, Mitchell and Smith, Director Longway, the Honor Guards represented, and most importantly to the families, friends, and colleagues of those we're here to honor today. It's truly an honor to be with you. There's no greater burden than to bear the loss of a friend, a colleague, or a loved one in service to our community. There are 56 names dedicated to this memorial, 53 of which were dedicated in years past. In some cases, their end of watch ended nearly 100 years ago. It's a tribute to the men and women that make the Lubbock Regional Public Safety Memorial a reality. You've worked diligently to showcase these names, and in doing so, you make the heroic sacrifice known to all. For the 4 years prior to last December, my office is just a short walk from here, about 500 yards to the south. And as many of you know, some days are more stressful than others in law enforcement, fire rescue, and emergency medical services. On the days where I found myself experiencing one that I classify as of the more stressful variety, I typically go for a walk, if for no other reason to get a breath of fresh West Texas air. On every one of those occasions, I'd often find myself gazing at the memorial before us and the ground that we stand on. That image, one of servanthood, heroism, and sacrifice, always grounding. I share this with you so that you know this memorial is a beacon that represents the best that humankind has to offer to people young and old and from near and far. Lubbock Police Officer Nicholas Reyna, Lubbock Fire Department Lieutenant Eric Hill, and Lubbock County Sheriff's Office Sergeant Josh Bartlett. The three names we honor today were lost to us in the past 2 years. Three incredibly brave, extraordinary men whose backgrounds, hobbies, loves, and passions were as diverse as the group that's gathered here today. Notwithstanding their diversity, each of these men had more than a few things in common. They had strength of character, decency, courage, and a commitment to something greater than themselves. They gave their lives to protect our safety. And for that, they're forever bound together by an unbreakable bond of valor. To the loved ones, friends, and colleagues of those honored here today, we honor you also. None of us could don the uniform of service without your unwavering and steadfast love and support. I know there isn't a speech any of us can deliver, nor a ceremony of any magnitude that will ever ease your pain, but I want for you to know that today we join together to honor their courage and their sacrifice, and to fill your hearts with our gratitude. For all of those here today that answer the call to keep our community safe, you know more than most that every moment you cherish with someone bears a bit more meaning. So I ask that you honor the lives of our fallen colleagues by giving as much of yourselves to your loved ones as you give to the communities that you serve each day. Today we're here to remember, and I hope going forward we'll be mindful. I hope we bind ourselves together with a bond of service to make the community brighter, safer, and ultimately more hopeful. And in doing so, we'll honor the memory of our fallen colleagues each day. May our dear friends rest in peace and in a place of honor. And may God bless you and the men and women who have given their lives in service to our community and our country. Thank you.
And now Texas Representative Dustin Burroughs.
Thank you. It is a privilege to be here before you today, to live in a community that honors its first responders, and to have the opportunity to say a few words to you. Let me start by thanking a few people. First off, our leadership of our area's first responders, Sheriff Rowe, Chief Mitchell, Director Longway, Chief Smith, Chief Bonath, Chief Ferguson, and Director Moore. I cannot express the gratitude enough that you and your departments that we have for you, for what you do every day to keep our communities safe. And to all of the first responders here or that are watching this, thank you. Please know that the entire state of Texas stands with you. We support you, and we care. We're here today, gathered in grateful memory of fallen first responders. We pay special homage to the individuals whose names are being added to the Lubbock Regional Public Safety Memorial. We do so with enormous respect and appreciation for the courage and character of all who've answered the call. Today, 3 names will be added to the Lubbock Regional Public Safety Memorial. Police Officer Nicholas Renya, Firefighter Lieutenant Eric Hill, and Lubbock County Sheriff's Department Sergeant Josh Bartlett. All 3 men love their families, their children, their communities, and their communities love them. We tend to focus on those men's final moments, but their lives, their dedication to duty, to their families, and to their communities is what defines them. We call those we honor today heroes because they are heroes. Their families are proud of them and always will be. Yet there's not a husband or wife here today, or a parent or child, who would not trade the honor to have them back. Many years ago, during the eulogy for his first responder son who died in the line of duty, the father said, "I know he's in good hands, but I wish he was in my hands." I think that's how we all feel today. There are more than 1.5 million first responders across America. Think of that number. And then think how many family members stand behind them. When their oaths are administered, they accept great responsibilities and great risk. Even in the most routine moments on watch or patrol, you protect us. Even on the quietest day, the next call may send you into extreme danger. Lubbock is grateful. Texas is grateful. America is grateful. We have confidence in our first responders because we know the kind of men and women we select, and we know the nature of the men and women that train for the job. They're the ones who face down threats, who step into scenes of chaos and violence, thinking only of whom they can help. But no one becomes a first responder for the money, nor does anybody put on the uniform expecting a life of ease. Fortunately, this great state, Texas, has never been short of such men and women. Every day, in every place in Texas, we can be thankful for the integrity and courage of our first responders. Today, we give thanks for the special courage of the fallen. We cannot fully repay our debt to them and to the families. We can only acknowledge that debt, which we do today with great pride and affection. May God bless you all, and may God continue to bless the great state of Texas. Thank you.
We will now be unveiling the 3 new plaques for the memorial.
Lubbock Police Department, Officer Nicholas Lee Reyna. End of watch, January 11th, 2020.
Lubbock Fire Rescue, Lieutenant Eric Hill. Last alarm, January 11th, 2020.
Lubbock County Sheriff's Office, Sergeant Joshua Bartlett. End of watch, July 15th, 2021. At this time, we'll be reading the names of all of the members that are on the wall. During this process, we will place one rose for each agency that are on the wall. United States Treasury Bureau of Narcotics, Narcotics Inspector Spencer Stafford, end of watch, February 7th, 1935. Department of Public Safety Patrolman David A. McGonigal, end of watch September 4th, 1940. Department of Safety Patrolman Felix A. Murphy, end of watch March 4th, 1955. Department of Public Safety Trooper Lynn Ray Smith, end of watch January 25th, 1957. Department of Public Safety Motor Vehicle Inspector Herman Paul Marshall, end of watch May 17th, 1960. Department of Public Safety Trooper Charles Austin Pryor, end of watch April 27th, 1965. Department of Public Safety Trooper Robert Franklin Snennett, end of watch July 2nd, 1965. Department of Public Safety Trooper Gail Lamar Holmes, end of watch May 19th, 1972. Department of Public Safety Trooper Harold D. Hambrick, end of watch July 7th, 1974. Department of Public Safety Trooper John D. Oldham, end of watch July 7th, 1974.
Department of Public Safety Trooper Jerry Don Davis, end of watch October 5th, 1980. Department of Public Safety Trooper Bobby Steve Booth, end of watch June 16th, 1993. Department of Public Safety Trooper Matthew D. Myrick, end of watch January 20th, 2006. Department of Public Safety Trooper David Ralph Slayton, end of watch September 20th, 2010. Department of Public Safety Trooper Jonathan Thomas McDonald, end of watch November 15th, 2010. Department of Public Safety Trooper William Carl Cassee, end of watch October 29th, 2015. Cochran County Sheriff's Office Deputy DeWitt Talmadge Smith, end of watch December 8th, 1939. Cochran County Sheriff's Office Mac Wesley Hancock, end of watch May 31st, 1948. Crosby County Sheriff's Office Sheriff Jewel J.J. Pierce, end of watch August 3rd, 1947. Dickens County Sheriff Office Sheriff William Bowden Arthur, end of watch October 27th, 1934.
King County Sheriff's Office, Sheriff Paul Roy Vincent, end of watch May 19th, 1972. Lamb County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Harvey S. Bolin, end of watch August 20th, 1932. Lamb County Sheriff's Office, Sheriff Franklin Aubrey Lloyd, end of watch May 21st, 1937. Lamb County Sheriff's Office, Sergeant Robert Michael Hankins, end of watch May 28, 1998. Lubbock County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Bernie Forrester, end of watch November 24th, 1951. Lubbock County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Rudy M. Gonzalez, end of watch February 25th, 1996. Lubbock County Sheriff's Office, Deputy D. Robert Martin Harvey, end of watch April 26, 2009. Lubbock Police Department, Special Officer Julio Herrera, end of watch July 19, 1947. Lubbock Police Department, Detective Ralph Clayton White, end of watch September 1st, 1953. Lubbock Police Department, Detective Larry Jack Stevens, end of watch February 9th, 1973.
Lubbock Police Department, Sergeant Kenneth D. Fowler, end of watch June 18th, 1992. Lubbock Police Department, Officer Rodney Kendricks, end of watch July 8th, 2001. Lubbock Police Department, Sergeant Kevin Cox, end of watch July 13th, 2001. Texas Tech Police Department, Officer Floyd East Jr., end of watch October 9th, 2017. Lynn County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Felix Edgar Redwine, end of watch March 6th, 1936. Lynn County Sheriff's Office, Town Marshal Con Burns, end of watch June 8th, 1944. Lynn County Sheriff's Office, Deputy William Francis Henderson, end of watch August 29th, 1954. Motley County Sheriff's Office, Sheriff Jelmar Lamar Jinks Wilson, end of watch November 12th, 1976. Yoakum County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Sheriff Jason Matthew Fan, end of watch August 5th, 2017.
Amarillo Fire Department, Firefighter Christopher Brian Hutton, last alarm April 25th, 2005. Lubbock Fire Department, Assistant Chief J. Newell Bryan, last alarm January 8th, 1929. Lubbock Fire Department, Lieutenant Waylon Jack Jenkins, last alarm August 3rd, 1957. Lubbock Fire Department, Equipment Operator Kenneth H. Haggart, last alarm March 25th, 1979. Lubbock Fire Department, Firefighter Eddie C. Swafford, last alarm March 25th, 1979. Lubbock Fire Department, Firefighter Larry D. Tucker, last alarm March 25th, 1979. Lubbock Fire Department, Lieutenant Jackie J. W. Lester, last alarm March 13th, 2007. Lubbock Fire Department, Firefighter J. Wesley Watson, last alarm July 8th, 2017. Lubbock County EMS Paramedic Mark Beck, end of duty July 24th, 1991. Lubbock County EMS Paramedic Raymond Davis, end of duty September 18th, 2003. Idalou Fire Department, Assistant Chief George David Butler, last alarm September 19th, 2000. Brownfield Volunteer Fire Department, Firefighter Jim Gusno, last alarm December 22nd, 1958. Brownfield Fire Department, Firefighter Waylon Parker, last alarm December 22nd, 1958.
I would like everyone to please stand and bow their heads for a moment of silence in honor of the fallen officers who have made the ultimate sacrifice.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand by for the honors portion of the service. The firing of the 3-round volley, the playing of taps. If you have sensitive hearing or have small children, please cover their ears at this time.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to thank you for your participation and conclude the Lubbock Regional Peace Officer Memorial for 2021.